meeting goes smoothly, and then I get to have 2 glasses of wine and go to
Why?
bed.
Oh, I do.
Say the percentage has like a indicator.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Kay, could you call the roll?
Dennis, Harold,
Here.
Hollenbaugh,
Here.
Phipps,
Here.
Robinette,
Here.
Roland,
Here.
Zanfordino.
Here.
Okay, the minutes from our November 15th meeting were distributed to you prior to this meeting for your perusal. Are there any additions or corrections to those minutes?
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold,
I move that we approve the minutes of our regularly scheduled city council meeting held November 15th, 2021.
Second.
properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Correspondence. Kay, do we have any correspondence this evening?
Yes, I have one item. Listing of budget transfers to be made for the month of December were distributed to you prior to the meeting for your approval.
Do I have a motion to approve the budget transfers?
So moved.
Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Okay,
That's all I have.
all right. Do we have anyone signed up for lobby visitations?
No, we do not.
All righty.
I say we call on somebody.
All right. Let's see, official reports. Mayor, do you have anything for us this evening? Oh, I'm sorry, never mind. Introduction of new legislation. Bill threw me off with his lobby visitation.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette,
On behalf of the Finance Committee, I have two ordinances. One, an ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2021 and ending December 31st, 2021. And second, an ordinance to provide appropriations for the expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022 and ending December 31st, 2020.
All right, let's see. From the Utilities Committee, I have an ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to enter into an agreement with AMP Transmission LLC.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
with the Transportation and Safety Committee of Council, I have a resolution in support of the development of a passenger rail line from Toledo to Columbus with a stop in Bowling Green.
Okay,
Mr. President,
yes, Ms. Phipps.
on behalf of the Planning, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee, I have an ordinance amending the zoning district map of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio for approximately 39.78 acres located between 2111 and 2301 East Wooster Street from B2 General Commercial Zoning to M3 Business Park Zoning.
Okay. And that brings us to official reports. Mr. Mayor.
Good evening, members of council. I only have one comment in regards to Resolution 3809 on your agenda this evening, resolution in support of the development of a passenger rail line from Toledo to Columbus. I just wanted to add my voice of support to this resolution. This is an exciting concept that most clearly would benefit this region and could potentially benefit the citizens of Bowling Green. So I, again, just wanted to voice my support for this resolution. I certainly will be eager to sign it, as I will also be eager to engage in any future conversations with a broad array of potential partners, community partners, whatever partnership it might be as the process develops and we learn more about future studies. I'll be eager to represent the city of Bowling Green in those discussions so that we could potentially benefit from this concept. So other than that, I would ask if you have any questions.
Any questions for the mayor this evening? Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you. Municipal Administrator, Ms. Tretter.
Good evening, Council. I am actually going to be turning my report over to Mary Hinkleman. So if you have any questions for me, I thought I would ask before I give the introduction of what she's going to speak with you about this evening.
Okay, are there any questions for Ms. Tretter?
All right. So before you this evening, you have Ordinance 8976, which would authorize a contract with the Chamber of Commerce for the promotion and publicizing of Bowling Green, Ohio, to bring patronage and business of cultural, educational, religious, professional, and sports organizations. Kay's going to think I'm doing her job for her reading your ordinance here. But I do want to underscore how important this relationship has been to the city of Bowling Green. As you may recall, as members of council last year, that we made a change to how we were contracting for these services, partnering with the Chamber of Commerce. We did a one-year contract at that time to kind of feel our way to figure it out. And the Chamber of Commerce has done an outstanding job with the Visit BG concept. They have, really taken things, I think, in a professional direction. We're seeing efficiencies, we're seeing effectiveness, we're seeing new ideas, and I'm really excited about where it can go. So I certainly support this concept. And to that end, we asked Mary, who has been overseeing this and doing a marvelous job, we asked Mary to join us this evening to give you a report on the activities of this past year so you would have that information before you give final vote to that legislation. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody. I appreciate this opportunity to talk to you about what we have done with Visit BG Ohio since we undertook this the beginning of the year. I think Sandy said something along the lines of change is never easy and there's always some pain along the way. And this year has been a little painful, but quite honestly, the accomplishments that we have seen, I think, have been well worth what we've been through. So just to give you an idea of how the organization is different now, we now have an advisory committee that was appointed by Mayor Osbacher. And on that advisory board, we have representation from our hoteliers, from our large events, from the city of Bowling Green, BGSU, downtown Bowling Green, and the Chamber of Commerce, and all of them bringing their ideas and thoughts on ways for us to continue to promote the city of Bowling Green, what has come from them. Our goals were looking for opportunities, creating opportunities, finding efficiencies was probably the biggest item that I'll be relating to quite often here. Fostering great hospitality practices and reviewing all marketing dollar spends, and growing our digital presence. With COVID being in place, all of the publishers were saying digital was the way to go this year. So we dipped our foot in the waters and we did find some great return on those, and I'll get to those also. So, with the hotels still recovering from COVID, we weren't sure what would happen with our financial resources. We set our budget and we hoped we would come out on top. It did not stop us with that budget being half of what was originally received from the hotel motel tax. That didn't stop us on doing some impressive things. So one of the items that we did do was a hotel shuttles pilot. We provided shuttles from the hotels to the National Tractor Pulls. That stopped also in the downtown for dining and shopping, and they were very well received. With a quick promotion, the word got out, but in 2022 we will see additional promotion of that because that information will go to each and every ticket holder. What we wanted to see from it was our hotels have the shuttles, which was an extra amenity that the other hotels could not give them from Rossford or Perrysburg or whatever. Maybe they were a couple dollars cheaper, maybe they weren't, but they were selecting our hotels to stay in because they could be shuttled to the event, stop in the downtown, and then back to their hotels. All day long they ran, almost continuously. They had riders on those buses, and at the end of the night, the bus had to make 5 runs back to the hotels, 5 continuous runs. So we're talking over 100 people getting back to the hotels that evening. So we felt it was very, very successful. We also did the same thing with Black Swamp Arts Festival. We had similar results, but we think we can work closer with that organization because they also provide shuttle services. So we're looking at what to do with them this year, maybe supporting what they already had in place, but then stopping at the hotels instead. So we're just constantly looking for those efficiencies and ways to make things just a little bit better. The other thing that we introduced this year was our Visit BG Ohio Tourism Grant. I know they had previously done sponsorships and grants and things. We made this a little bit more formal and laid out exactly what we were looking for. So we had laid it out that someone could apply for a grant if they were doing capital improvement projects that would help events that were already living and thriving here in Bowling Green, that would bring continued business. One of the cases in sight would be Carter Park. They are continuously needing to make improvements there at the park for the baseball tournaments so that they can stay relevant. There are sporting events popping up all over the state, and you have to remain competitive so that those tournaments keep coming. Another is incentivizing sports conferences, festivals, and large events to consider Bowling Green as a place to come. Sporting events by far bring the most dollars per person who come to those events because they not only stay in our hotels, they're also eating in our restaurants and shopping in our stores. So those are a great place for us to focus on. One other area we want to focus on with those grants is providing financial support to encourage public art and cultural events. Sorry, I got a little tongue-tied there. The reason for this is we are not considered a destination. We have to provide experiences for people to come here that want to come here. And that really is a thing now. People want experiences. They want to come, they want to see something they can't see anywhere else. So we continue to explore those avenues, and so we thought that was another place to place money for those grants. As of December 6th, we have 2 grants that have been awarded. We do have a committee that reviewed those grants. One was for the tractor pullers to offer the shuttle services again this year and again with additional promotion and signage. We also were out there at the tractor pullers with a visitor center information, and I can't tell you how delighted that those tractor pullers are to come to Bowling Green, Ohio. They're treated with respect. They are valued for coming and spending dollars, and they just raved about being here in Bowling Green. So again, a great organization that we work with. Our other grant that was awarded already was to gas disc golf tournaments. So disc golf is really becoming a big thing. We have a disc golf course out at Carter Park, and the gas disc golf tournaments asked if some improvements could be made. It's already a great course, but it makes it more challenging. They're already running tournaments out there, and we hope that this will bring additional tournaments. So none of the monies have changed hands yet. Of course, they have to put the things in place, but we're really excited about that. And a third grant will be submitted, and we are in conversations with the Ohio Wine Producers Association for an event that's being considered out at the fairgrounds. So we're super excited for the response already from this grant program and want to continue to offer that. Hospitality and additional services, you guys can read through that. I can tell you, we have been at more events than you can shake a stick at. They're running promotions, creating social media posts and all kinds of things. I think one of the biggest ones, most exciting, and it won't be back every single year, but we had the King Midgets Car Club, and we helped them organize their 3-day event. They were here in Bowling Green with a total of 65 hotel rooms. They each stayed 2 nights. They ate at our hotels every single lunch and dinner, and they shopped in our shops. So we continue to support these guys with as much hospitality as we can, helping them find the restaurants that they can work with. Large organizations come in, they're not sure where to eat. We point them in the right direction, and we even help them work with the restaurants for group rates. Efficiencies, again, the digital advertising versus print publications. We worked with a new organization, which resulted in about 4,000 requests for our BG magazine. Previously, those mailings would go out, and it cost about $6 per. With 4,000 of those going out, you can kind of tally up the number. We were able to reduce those costs with a clear mailing, nice lightweight, bulk mailing, and we got that cost down to $2 per. So you can see the cost savings just in that endeavor. Moving to our new location was a huge efficiency. We absolutely love the place we're in. The overhead cost has reduced very much so. We are sharing employees. We are contracting services out when we can't do a full position for someone. These efficiencies have helped us bring on 3 people who are considered full-time employees versus 1. And the other efficiencies have, and this is kind of super exciting for me, we will be able to finally offer health insurance to those full-time employees in 2022. So all around, it has benefited the chamber, it has benefited Visit BG Ohio, and I know it has benefited the city of Bowling Green. So I appreciate your consideration and letting us continue this collaboration. Thank you so much.
Mr. President, Mary, I just want to give a huge thank you to you for how hard you have worked to make this work out.
Thank you.
Changes are painful, and this was a painful change, I know. But having served on the Convention and Visitors Bureau and now being a very minor part of the new organization, the difference is like night and day. The greatest thing I feel is that we truly have partnerships with those that we should be most interested in, the hoteliers, to bring in the tax money to make this all possible. And they are playing a big role. You're working with them beautifully. They appear to be very, very happy with where we are right now. And I just want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
And I know it's tiresome, but keep up the good work.
My best numbers to share. Sorry, one more second. I know I said I was done. We had a budget of $140,000 this year. I'm sure you all have seen that. Our expenses are coming in right about 75% right now. So by the end of the year, I don't think we will hit 85% of that budget. So
Great.
that leaves more money to promote the city of Bowling Green. Thank you.
Well, when you save money, that even makes everything better.
Mr. President, I'd like to echo what Sandy said and just say congratulations on what you're doing to promote BG, but also I think it's appropriate to thank the chamber for what you did over.
Thank you. I told John on my way in here, it's a lot of work, but I wouldn't trade it for anything. It's such a great way to promote our city.
Mhm.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That brings us to Mr. Marsh. Any questions for Mr. Marsh this evening? Public Services Director, Mr. Fawcett.
Good evening. Just a quick public service announcement on behalf of the Public Works Department. The final leaf collection pass began today. Crew started in the first ward. Residents can follow the progress of the crews through the online map. If houses or you don't get your leaves out in time, okay. You can take them to the yard waste drop off and Public Works will take them from there. Or you can mulch the leaves. I'm sure Amanda would like me to tell you that to feed your lawn. So any questions for me?
Are there any questions for Mr. Fawcett this evening?
Yes, I have one question, Mr. President. Does it appear that every year leaves are falling later and later? It seems like we just keep moving it back and moving it back. Is this going to just be a permanent thing?
We go on an annual basis, so it depends on the weather and how many leaves come down. Whether that's earlier or later, I don't know. I couldn't
Who
tell you.
counts the leaves that come down?
I don't count them. If you're asking me to do that, I guess I
No,
could
no,
send it
no,
to
no,
the
no,
mayor.
no, no. Since you mentioned who counts them, I just had to ask. I've been getting inquiries from people just saying, it seems like it's getting later and later every year. Should we just count on this? So I wanted to ask
Yeah,
if,
maybe we try to judge it based off the number of piles we're seeing and how many leaves, generally speaking, are still in the trees. So
okay, very good. Thank you.
Any other questions? All right, thank you very much. Public Infrastructure Director, Mr. O'Connell.
Good evening. Just very briefly, the plans for the West Wooster Street and the Haskins Road water and sewer line are in the final stages of development here. So we're hoping to get that project out for bid here in December with the bid opening in January timeframe. Of course, as you know, that's going to be doing the underground work, water and sewer work along Wooster Street from Church over to Haskins Road and up to Wallace. Paving on East Worcester is going to occur during the same year in 22. And then ideally they'll be back in 23 to repave West Worcester Street when we'll be done. Staff is also working on the village water line. We had an EPA loan plan for that. We're hoping to get that out for bid probably in May timeframe of 22. If we don't make that, then we'll have to renominate the project for the EPA loan process, and it'll be later in 22, but that's our current plans right now. That's what I have for you if you have any questions for me.
Are there any questions for Mr. O'Connell this evening? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Council committee reports. Are there any council committee reports this evening?
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
before this meeting, the Planning, Zoning, and Economic Development Committee held a public hearing on ordinance 8974. We heard no objection to the rezoning request issue.
Okay.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette?
on November 30th, the Finance Committee met for the 2022 budget hearing. All members were present, so I won't review the meeting, but look forward to the first reading budget tonight.
Okay. I would like to make an announcement that I've scheduled a council orientation meeting to take place on January 22nd at 9 a.m. That's a Saturday. If you could pencil that into your schedule. Further information will follow at a later date. I just wanted to give everyone a heads up. We have some new council members coming on, and it's a good opportunity for them to meet the various department heads and things. So that will be happening on Saturday, January 22nd. Any more committee reports? Okay, that brings us to the reading of legislation. Okay,
Legislation for first reading, resolution number 3809 for first reading, resolution in support of the development of a passenger rail line from Toledo to Columbus with a stop in Bowling Green.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
I move that we suspend the rules and give Resolution 3809 its second and third readings.
Second?
Properly moved and seconded. Okay,
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
Roland.
Yes.
Zanfordino.
Yes.
Okay, the rules have been suspended for resolution 3809.
Resolution number 3809 for second and third reading, resolution in support of the development of a passenger rail line from Toledo to Columbus with a stop in Bowling Green.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
I move that we adopt Resolution 3809. Second.
Okay, properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
just want to note that there's many people and organizations that have been involved with the specific and general idea of passenger rail in Ohio with various potential routes. And I'm pleased that this city council can add our voice to the choir singing the praises of having passenger rail through Bowling Green with a stop in Bowling Green. I think it has the potential for being a game changer in our development. And I'm very pleased we can do what we can to make sure that comes about.
All right. Any other discussion the resolution? Okay.
Hollenbaugh,
Yep.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland.
Yes.
Zanfordino,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
All right. Resolution 3809 is adopted.
Ordinance number 8978 for first reading, ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the city of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2021 and ending December 31, 2021.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move that we suspend the rules and give ordinance 8978 its second and third readings.
Second?
Properly moved and seconded. Okay.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland.
Yes.
Zanfordino,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes. Okay. The rules are suspended for ordinance 8978.
Ordinance number 8978 for second and third reading, ordinance providing supplemental appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio during the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2021 and ending December 31, 2021.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move to adopt ordinance 8978.
Second.
Okay, properly moved and second. Is there any discussion? Okay,
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Zanfordino,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
yes.
Phipps.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 8978 is adopted.
Ordinance number 8979 for first reading, ordinance to provide appropriations for the expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2022 and ending December 31, 2022.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 8979 its second reading.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Okay,
Roland,
Yes.
Zanfordino,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
Okay. So the rules are suspended for ordinance 8979.
Ordinance number 8979 for second reading. Ordinance to provide appropriations for expenses and other expenditures of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2022 and ending December 31, 2022. Ordinance number 8980 for first reading. Ordinance authorizing the Utilities Director to enter into an agreement with AMP Transmission LLC. Ordinance number 8981 for first reading. Ordinance amending the zoning district map of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio for approximately 39.78 acres located between 2111 and 2301 East Wooster Street from B2 General Commercial zoning to M3 Business Park zoning.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps.
we need to set a public hearing on ordinance 8981, I believe on January 18th at 6:45.
Okay,
Legislation for second reading. Ordinance number 8976 for second reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to enter into a contract with the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce for the promotion and publicizing of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio, to bring the patronage and business of cultural, educational, religious, professional, and sports organizations into the city for the benefit of the citizens of the city and the business community there, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move to suspend the rules and give ordinance 8976 its third reading.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Okay,
Zanfordino,
Yes.
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland.
Yes.
Okay, the rules are suspended for ordinance 8976.
Ordinance number 8976 for third reading. Ordinance authorizing the municipal administrator to enter into a contract with the Bowling Green Chamber of Commerce for the promotion and publicizing of the City of Bowling Green, Ohio, to bring the patronage and business of cultural, educational, religious, professional, and sports organizations into the city for the benefit of the citizens of the city and the business community, and declaring an emergency.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move to adopt the emergency clause for ordinance 8976.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Okay,
Harold,
Yes.
Hollenbaugh,
yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Zanfordino.
Yes.
All right, the emergency clause has been adopted for ordinance 8976.
Mr. President,
Mr. Robinette.
I move to adopt ordinance 8976.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay,
Hollenbaugh,
yes.
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette,
Yes.
Roland,
Yes.
Zanfordino,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
All right, ordinance 8976 is adopted.
There is no legislation for third reading, and ordinance number 8974 comes off the table automatically.
Mr. President,
Ms. Phipps?
I move to adopt ordinance 8974.
Second.
Properly moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay,
Phipps,
Yes.
Robinette.
Yes.
Roland.
Yes.
Zanfordino,
Yes.
Harold.
Yes.
Hollenbaugh.
Yes. Ordinance 8974 is adopted.
Mr. President,
Mr. Harold,
I move that we excuse Jeff Dennis from tonight's meeting. Second.
properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Is there any other business to come before council this evening?
Mr. President,
Mr. Zanfordino.
I will be traveling to see family on our December 20th meeting, so I felt it would be weird just to disappear and not say anything. So this is my last council meeting after 16 years and 7 months. And it's a sad feeling to be leaving this excellent experience. And just wanted to thank everyone, the staff, for their responsiveness and their support through the years, however weird my emails may have been. And just wanted to also say thank you to the public for electing me 8 times. This has been an incredible experience. So thank you, Mark. You've done a great job this year.
Well,
Thanks, everyone.
if you hadn't said something, I was going to say something anyway. So
Thank you.
on behalf of myself, the citizens of Bowling Green, and all council members present and past over your last 16 years, thank you very much for your service to our city. And I'm sure you will not go quietly into that good night.
Thank you, Mark. Appreciate it.
And Mr. President,
Mr. Harold.
you certainly expressed it well, but I also wanted to personally add, and not just as a councilman, but as you know, many times you had to look back there and see me. And I can tell you that it is a notable achievement, John, for you to be on council for 16 plus years. And that is a testament to you. And I do, as a citizen and someone that follows the city, want to thank you personally for all the work that you put in.
Well, thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate the
And
comments.
don't be a stranger. I hear you've got a new council representative for your ward. Feel free to contact that person at will.
I have your email address, Bill. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, is there any other business to come before council? All right, do I have a motion
So moved.
Second.
to adjourn? Properly moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, we are adjourned.